A new KSI song. I didn't think it was that bad. The other one was just giving him opinion on lunchly. Yeah, I only found out about it yesterday. Like, you should not feed your kids that garbage. Like, what the fuck?
He started filming in his tiny Watford bedroom as a teen, just messing around with a camera, never imagining the internet would turn him into a global machine. Now, more than a decade later, this same kid has over 21 million fans locked in, even pulling more YouTube followers than Beyonce. Wild, right? KSI really became one of the biggest online personalities on the planet, but yesterday, he slipped up and accidentally exposed the very crypto pump and dump schemes he once pushed. KSI, a name that used to sit firmly on the YouTube throne, built his whole empire off pure chaos. Hilarious FIFA rages, crazy challenges, bold rap tracks, all coming from this small-town kid in Watford who refused to stay small. He didn't just stay on YouTube either. He ran into boxing rings, locked down major brand deals, and jumped into billion-dollar business plays like he had something to prove every single day. A YouTuber, a rapper, a fighter, all packed into one wild personality that felt impossible to stop. But when you shine that bright, the heat hits hard too. As his fame grew, so did the pressure. And that pressure started cracking the surface fast. From those early gaming uploads to worldwide boxing events, from Prime Hydration taking over stores to constant sidemen drops, every move KSI made had heavy weight behind it. And even heavier drama, accusations of shady ads, broken crypto promises, and non-stop online outrage kept crashing into him. Every win came with a brand new headache, a fresh wave of critics, lawsuits, and chaos that wouldn't quit. The same internet that once crowned him a king started watching him slip on the very stage he built. Fans began asking what changed. How did the guy known for jokes, hustle, and non-stop energy end up drowning in controversy every time he posted? Today we're breaking down that whole roller coaster, the rise, the reign, and the hard reality check that followed. KSI was born in Watford, a quiet English town, to a Nigerian family that believed in discipline and education, but he always had his eyes locked on something bigger.
Winner by majority decision, Tommy!
It's a robbery, bro. How many jobs did he land? How many jobs did you land? You didn't get hardly any shots off.
The digital world. He spent hours glued to his computer, editing, experimenting, gaming, chasing some kind of spark, until 2011 hit and everything shifted. He dropped his very first FIFA gameplay video on YouTube, and that mix of slick skills and sharp sarcasm hit different instantly. People locked in quick because his raw energy and unfiltered jokes felt fresh, and within months, he had a whole squad of loyal fans riding with him. That upload became the spark that lit one of the biggest YouTube careers ever, something nobody could have seen coming. By 2015, KSI wasn't just gaming anymore. He was transforming into a full-on entertainer with range. Vlogs, music, sketch comedy, boxing. He turned his channel into a whole empire, moving like a real boss in the creator world. Millions clicked subscribe, brands lined up to work with him, and his name became the blueprint for turning internet fame into real-life power. But once you climb that high, the fall hits way harder. Soon, the cracks started showing. Drama in the YouTube community, copyright issues, beefs flying everywhere, lawsuits, non-stop arguments. The chaos felt never-ending. But nothing hit harder than the moment that shook even his biggest supporters in early 2023. During a Sidemen video, KSI used a racial slur as a joke, and even though he thought it was harmless, the backlash came crashing in instantly. That split-second moment flipped his whole world. The second the clip dropped, the internet blew up. Timelines turned into a storm of reactions and disappointment. Fans who had been with him since those early Sidemen days suddenly weren't sure what to think anymore. Creators chimed in, reaction channels dissected every second, and the clip spread everywhere like digital wildfire. Hashtags calling him out started trending within hours, turning one careless joke into a huge cultural moment. For someone who built his career on confidence and big personality energy, this was the first time he felt the internet turning on him so fast, and it hit him hard. The issue wasn't just the reckless word he used, it was the whole vibe around how he handled the fallout.
Simon, you wouldn't give points to racism, would you?
Pakistani is in the dictionary.
Yeah, that is the...
People weren't only bothered by what came out of his mouth, they were bothered by how he stepped up afterward, and his reaction didn't sit right with a lot of folks. Within hours, KSI and the Sidemen dropped an official apology. He said, "I want to apologize for saying a racial slur in a recent Sidemen video. There's no excuse, no matter the circumstances. I shouldn't have said it, and I'm sorry. I've always told my audience not to worship me or put me on a pedestal because I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna mess up in life, and lately I've been messing up a lot. So I've decided I'm gonna take a break from social media for a while. It was calm, neat, and polished, almost too polished, and people weren't feeling it at all. A lot of viewers felt like it sounded more like a clean PR statement than real remorse. They said it looked more like damage control than a genuine apology. And the questions kept stacking. Fans couldn't understand how a huge group like the Sidemen, with a whole production machine behind them, didn't edit that clip out before hitting upload. One fan even wrote, "How is this not caught before upload?" People called it sloppy, careless, and unprofessional, and the criticism came flying in fast. Then, just when the outrage was finally slowing down, boom, another controversy hit that same year. A JD Sports ad featuring KSI got banned by the UK's ASA because it didn't include the required year ad disclosure. KSI's team rushed to update the video and worked with the regulators, but the damage was already out there. Fans started side-eyeing his choices, wondering if too much fame and too much ego were making him slip. For the first time in years, KSI's image, once seen as untouchable, started looking shaky. Public pressure started closing in heavy, and everything KSI touched got placed under a magnifying glass. The sad twist, the same guy who once stood for realness, hustle, and connection had now turned into a walking controversy magnet. Someone who used to motivate millions with jokes and grind was suddenly being met with side eyes, doubt, and straight-up clowning. And even when he stepped into the boxing ring, that cloud of scrutiny followed him like a bad omen. Before his hyped November 2023 fight with Tommy Fury, KSI's confidence was sky high. He was talking big, saying he'd drop Fury quick, and the internet went crazy with it. Memes, edits, reaction clips, everything was blowing up because everyone wanted to see if this YouTuber could really take down a trained fighter.
Began posting videos online as a teenager from his bedroom in Watford over a decade later. With over 21 million fans, he's got more YouTube followers than Beyond.
But when fight night finally hit, reality punched harder than anything in that ring. Under the bright Manchester lights with millions watching, KSI came out swinging with pure adrenaline and heart, but as the rounds kept coming, his punches got wild, off balance, and messy, while Fury stayed locked in, calm and calculated. By the final bell, KSI's face was swollen, tired, and you could see the defeat in his body language. This wasn't just about getting outboxed, it was about what that loss meant. It showed that no matter how famous you are online, no matter how much confidence you project, real-world skills and real-world limits always catch up. For KSI, that night wasn't just a loss. It was a loud reminder that the internet can hype you up 1 second and tear you apart the next. And when the judges announced the decision, his frustrated reaction went viral instantly, sparking the hashtag KSI as people argued non-stop about what really happened in that ring. His fans instantly started clowning his post-fight rant, especially after he claimed he got cheated. The internet wasn't siding with his bruised ego. They were dragging it. Comments poured in non-stop, his follower count started slipping, and views on his new uploads took a noticeable dip. One fan said it best, "Losing is fine, but the way he's handling it is beyond embarrassing." What should have been a humbling moment turned into a full-on PR meltdown overnight. KSI went from being the face of YouTube boxing to getting labeled as the symbol of pure arrogance and self-delusion. Even folks inside the boxing world started distancing themselves from him. Promoters stopped hitting his line, sponsorships went silent, and critics finally started saying what people had whispered for years: that KSI was never a real boxer, just a flashy promotional event wearing gloves. To make it worse, old clips of his fight started resurfacing everywhere as memes of overconfidence, being used as proof that he got way too caught up in his own hype, and the downward spiral didn't stop there. His once unstoppable boxing path turned into a run of bad decisions and canceled fights. A big matchup with Wayne Bridge collapsed out of nowhere after KSI cracked a tasteless comment about Bridge's personal situation involving John Terry. KSI later said it was scripted just to hype ticket sales and apologize behind the scenes, but by that point, fans weren't laughing. They were cringing hard. Then came the whole Dylan Dennis situation. Another headline fight that fell apart at the last second, piling on even more doubt.
I don't know how to describe the power of it, but other than just saying that it is basically the N-word for every brown person. This is a specific British or European.
His credibility kept taking hit after hit, and people were losing trust fast. Not long after, during a podcast appearance, KSI finally opened up, admitting he was struggling and expressing regret for how he'd handled the chaos surrounding his career. He sounded tired, frustrated, and ready to face what he'd been running from. And that honesty shocked people just as much as his controversies. By that point, people were already asking the question straight up. Is KSI ever stepping back in the ring again? And when he drifted away from boxing, he didn't slow down or take a breather. Instead, he jumped headfirst into a whole different battlefield, the crypto game. And this one hit way harder than any punch he ever took. KSI's crypto journey kicked off back in 2022 when he openly invested in Luna, only to watch it crash and burn, wiping out a jaw-dropping $2.8 million. He posted about the loss online, calling it a lesson, but the internet wasn't impressed at all. Critics said someone with his influence needed to be way more responsible, especially when his audience was packed with young fans who didn't fully understand crypto volatility. But the real chaos didn't start there. It came later, when pump and dump accusations started buzzing around a token called XCAD. During the wild 2021 to 2022 crypto boom, KSI used his massive online reach to hype up his crypto wins, posting screenshots, flexing profits, and spotlighting random small coins. And because his platforms were huge, every post could shake markets instantly. On March 15th, 2022, one single post from him about XCAD made the token skyrocket 40% in just 1 hour. Another time, he mentioned an obscure coin, and it jumped 80% in 15 minutes. That's how powerful his influence was. But the hype didn't last long.
Turned down millions and millions and millions of deals. So why would I go on crypto and pump and dump?
Because right after those spikes, KSI cashed out fast. Blockchain receipts later exposed everything. He sold $850,000 worth of XCAD within 3 days, $174,000 of another token called EARN in just 6 hours, and another $25,000 worth of a small coin in only 15 minutes. Meanwhile, his fans were left stuck holding coins that started tanking as soon as he pulled his money out. Young traders, many just between 18 and 20 years old, lost serious amounts of cash and jumped online posting angry threads on Twitter and Reddit. They felt betrayed, blindsided, and used, and their frustration exploded across the internet. Some fans said they lost their whole savings because of following his posts. One person wrote, "KSI scammed me out of $2,000 with XCAD," while another said, "I've followed him since 2010. Now I'm broke because I trusted his advice." The hashtag boycott KSI exploded everywhere, stacking up over 50,000 angry comments in just a few days. And for 3 long months, KSI stayed completely silent. No explanation, no pushback, no apology. That silence made everything feel even worse. By early 2024, major blockchain investigators like ZachXBT and CoffeeZilla dropped deep dive reports showing receipts. Their breakdowns revealed evidence that KSI wasn't just making bad trades. He was pumping coins, selling at the top, and letting his own supporters eat the losses. CoffeeZilla's expose, which pulled millions of views, straight up called it a calculated move, not a mistake. It painted KSI not as some confused investor, but as someone using the trust he built with fans to make quick money. For a creator who built his whole career on jokes, honesty, and connection, this scandal felt different. It hit way deeper. Suddenly, the internet wasn't seeing KSI the entertainer. They were seeing someone they couldn't trust. And that became the new pattern. Hype, controversy, then complete silence. KSI's brand wasn't just chaotic anymore. It was unstable, unpredictable, and shaky. And then came the moment that blew the whole thing wide open.
They're supposed to be good for like another 2 months. This is molded. That's mold. This is not safe, especially like kids that are so...
He accidentally exposed the very pump and dump schemes he'd been promoting. Those details stayed hidden for almost 2 years, until KSI logged back into his old Twitter account, not realizing the receipts were still there for everyone to see. His response to the backlash only made things messier. His explanations sounded childish and dismissive, and the entire crypto community rejected them instantly. What was supposed to be a moment of honesty from a real creator turned into yet another example of someone dodging responsibility. And just like that, KSI, once a YouTube giant and a powerhouse in influencer boxing, became a warning about what happens when fame mixes with money, pressure, and influence. He ended up proving what fans had already figured out. Clout should never come before conscience. When you use fame to profit off people who genuinely believe in you, that energy always circles back. After the crypto mess, KSI tried to shift gears and rebuild through business moves. Just like other creators chasing long-term success, he doubled down on expanding his empire, diving deeper into Prime hydration and stacking more ventures under the Sidemen umbrella. For a moment, it felt like redemption was finally in sight. Prime was supposed to be his big comeback, a flagship drink co-created with Logan Paul and hyped to millions of loyal supporters. But once again, the problems came crashing in fast. Rumors started spreading everywhere. Talk of exaggerated marketing claims, PFAS contamination, and even a lawsuit over Olympic trademark violations. The same loud, viral marketing that once made Prime blow up worldwide was now turning into a legal maze and a PR nightmare. And the public didn't hold back at all. Every new flavor, every promo photo, every post was dissected like it was evidence in some major case. What started as global hype quickly flipped into disappointment, and fans flooded forums saying Prime had gone from a symbol of success to a brand drowning in bad press. Then came Lunchly, a flashy packaged food collab with Logan Paul and Mr. Beast, pushed straight at kids. The campaign was everywhere. Smiling children on TikTok, bright colors, and KSI proudly shouting, "Finally, a lunch kids will actually eat." But behind the fun slogans, things looked way messier. Reports started pouring in about moldy meals, sketchy ingredients, and parents calling out bogus health claims. What was supposed to be a playful, kid-friendly project turned into a slow-motion disaster that people couldn't look away from. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe to the BeyondFame channel, share the video, and I'll see you on the next one.